Zombie Thanos. This Thanos got infected with the zombie virus during his quest to collect all 6 Infinity Stones. He attacked Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Scott Lang to acquire the Mind Stone, since he had already gathered the other 5 stones. Despite the Infinity Stones giving their wielder unimaginable power, Thanos' infected brain couldn't focus it, resulting in him being overwhelmed by the heroes. But thanks to his zombie physiology, he managed to endure everything they threw at him, even a direct hit from Stormbreaker. Thanos slowly started to learn how to use each stone properly. He used the Reality Stone to create a horde of zombies, the Power Stone to fire beams powerful enough to defeat Thor and completely disintegrate Stormbreaker, the Time Stone to heal his wounds, and even used the Space Stone to teleport the last Infinity Stone to the palm of his hand. With all 6 stones, Thanos became practically invincible. In the main universe, he used the stones to erase half of all life with a single snap, but that was in the name of bringing balance. Zombie Thanos didn't care about any of that and would have probably used the stones to destroy the entire universe. So T'Challa pushed him into Wakanda's reactor core, sacrificing himself to destroy both Thanos and the Infinity Stones. Infinity Hulk. Even though T'Challa saved the universe by defeating Thanos, the destruction of the Infinity Stones released a wave of energy that vaporized everything in its path. Bruce Banner tried to contain that wave. He jumped into the wave and absorbed those energies into himself, becoming a being powered by the Infinity Stones that was neither Hulk nor Banner. With the power of the stones flowing through him, he could move and fight at extremely high speeds, create massive energy explosions with a single punch, and send hordes of zombies flying with powerful shockwaves. Zombie Wanda wanted to take all that power for herself and ordered her army of zombies to attack Infinity Hulk. At first, he managed to fight off the zombies by himself, but the more damage he took, the more cracks started appearing on him. Thanks to his healing factor, he was able to recover some of the damage. However, after taking hits from giant zombies, energy blasts from a fleet of flying ships, and multiple attacks from Stormbreaker, he was left weakened and vulnerable. So Wanda took the opportunity and took his powers for herself. Queen of the Dead. When the zombie virus started spreading, most of the Avengers were turned into zombies, including Wanda Maximoff. Vision managed to keep her contained by feeding her the body parts of other survivors like T'Challa. That's why he was missing his legs when he fought Thanos. She later broke free from her cell and attacked the remaining Avengers. Even as a zombie, Wanda retained her mastery of chaos magic, allowing her to fly, easily stop bullets, and even send a person flying for hundreds of meters. After regaining her ability to manipulate minds, Wanda formed an army of zombies filled with powerful heroes and villains, and she became known as the Queen of the Dead, arguably the strongest character in all of Marvel Zombies. However, she still wanted to gain more power, so after forming an army strong enough to overwhelm Infinity Hulk, she took his powers. Kamala Khan tried to stop her, but she was too weak to even damage her, so she gave up and agreed to help Wanda as well. With both the powers of Infinity Hulk and Kamala, Wanda promised to cure the world of the zombie virus, but apparently it was nothing more than a big illusion. Zombie Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, also known as Captain Marvel, is a human-Kree hybrid who was enhanced with the cosmic energy of the Tesseract. Despite her usually being off-world protecting other planets across the galaxy, it is safe to assume that when the zombie infection started spreading on Earth, Nick Fury used the transmitter pager to contact Captain Marvel. She came back to help, and that's when she got infected with the virus and turned into a zombie. After her infection, Carol was turned into a mindless hunter, but she still retained her superhuman strength, durability, and flight. She could also fire powerful energy blasts capable of incinerating anything, and would have probably blasted through the Nova Corps defenses to spread the zombie virus throughout the entire universe if Ikaris hadn't stopped her. Zombie Namor. Just like the cities on the surface, the underwater kingdom also fell to the zombie virus, turning its inhabitants and their ruler, Namor, into zombies. Baron Zemo and several other survivors took shelter in the Raft, an underwater prison said to be strong enough to withstand attacks from the most powerful beings on Earth. Although it managed to stop an army of zombified Talokanil from breaking in, Namor could easily get through its walls. His strength rivaled that of the Hulk, a fact he later proved by breaking free from a containment cell made specifically for the Hulk. Namor also possessed a pair of feathered wings on his ankles, which allowed him to fly. When combined with his superhuman strength, he was able to easily push back Kamala's light constructs, even with all the other heroes supporting her. He was bulletproof, could easily deflect hits from the 10 rings, and overpowered both Blade and the Red Guardian without much effort. Despite Namor being more powerful than all the other heroes combined, they managed to defeat him after Kamala tricked him into biting her light construct. Once he did, his arms were restrained by the 10 rings. His neck was grabbed by a super soldier, while the light construct kept getting bigger in his mouth until this happened to his head. Icarus. Icarus is an Eternal who was created at the World Forge. He is an inorganic being with the ability to fly and shoot powerful beams of energy from his eyes. Since the birth of a new Celestial happens through an event called the Emergence, which requires a lot of energy from the sentient life forms on the planet, the Prime Celestial Arishem created Icarus to protect sentient life forms from the deviants and help populations grow. But in this universe, he found himself stuck in a never-ending fight with a zombified Captain Marvel. After Captain Marvel got infected, Icarus most likely received direct orders from Arishem to stop her, because if Captain Marvel managed to fly to other planets and spread the virus across the universe, it could affect the emergence process and endanger the Celestials themselves. Considering that Icarus is a near-immortal being who couldn't get infected by the zombie virus and possessed the strength and speed to match Captain Marvel, they ended up fighting for 5 years straight at the Valley of the Broken Gods, where neither of them was able to defeat the other. However, anyone caught in their crossfire was instantly obliterated. Zombie Thor. In Infinity War, Thanos attacked the spaceship carrying the surviving Asgardians and murdered half of the people on it, including Loki and Heimdall. Seeking revenge, Thor threw Stormbreaker at Thanos, which left him severely injured. But in this story, Thanos was a zombie, and the hit from Stormbreaker had no effect on him, resulting in Stormbreaker being destroyed and Thor being defeated with a single beam that burned half of his face. The remaining Asgardians took refuge on Earth, with Thor sitting on the throne as their king. But after being defeated for the second time by Thanos, he fell into deep depression and only snapped back to his senses after Wanda Maximoff turned his people into zombies. Despite this version of Thor not wielding either Mjolnir or Stormbreaker, he still managed to maintain perfect control over his lightning, channeled electricity strong enough to hurt Wanda, and even broke free from her chaos magic with sheer force alone. He held off Wanda long enough for the heroes to escape, but was eventually turned into a zombie. Using her chaos magic, Wanda created another Stormbreaker for Zombie Thor to use, allowing him to summon lightning strong enough to vaporize the sorcerers from Kamar-Taj and damage Infinity Hulk. With the enhancement from Wanda's magic, he could even fire a red energy blast from his mouth. However, after taking multiple hits from Infinity Hulk, he was defeated for the 4th time in a row. Honorable mentions: Zombie Abomination, a zombified gamma monster with extreme strength and durability. He ran through everyone who stood in his way until he encountered Infinity Hulk and was defeated with a single punch. Zombie Hank Pym. He basically started the zombie apocalypse alongside his wife, Janet Van Dyne. By changing his size, he was able to easily infect Captain America. Many fans believe that he was also the one who infected Captain Marvel because, just like Hulk, her skin was too tough to bite through. He was later sliced in half by Blade Knight. Blade Knight, the new avatar of Khonshu, god of the moon. With his superhuman reactions, sword skills, and Khonshu's guidance, he managed to aura farm his way through the entire show, until Zombie Thor aura farmed on him and turned him to dust. Shang-Chi, an extremely skilled fighter and the current wielder of the 10 rings. Thanks to their mystical powers, he managed to resist the zombie infection. But after getting bitten again during the final battle against Wanda, he began turning into a zombie. Kamala Khan. With her ability to create powerful light constructs, she was able to easily fight off groups of zombies and even push back zombie Wanda.